Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Reality Derby. I am Marcus James Dixon.
I am Denton Davidson, and today we have our Big Brother exit interview with Mickey Lee. She gives us all the scoop on Morgan and Vince and what she thinks of Rachel, and we even talk about her HOH reign and why she gave Jimmy the boot, because that was a hot button back in the day. People, oh, I mean, I almost forgot about it by now.
I know the show goes on for so long. We just finished week 8. Week 9 is setting up now. We are recording this the next day, and we still don't know who the new HOH is. What is going on, Denton? The
It's
feeds have been
crazy.
off.
I
The
mean,
feeds.
the mastermind is at work, so we don't really know what's going on. There's speculation there's going to be like sort of a janky world 2.0 thing happening, and maybe there even could be two separate sides. Some people think there could be two HOHs. He did say someone will not escape the White Locust Resort, so someone is going outside and not coming back. That could be they're already gone. Maybe when the live feeds come back, someone won't be there.
That's insane. Well, there is one extra person because Rachel. Usually they have 16. This year they had 17 because of Rachel. But I guess we should get to Mickey, and then we can talk about the new week of Big Brother on the other side.
All right, Mickey Lee. You have had one night to digest this eviction. How are you feeling the morning after about your game and how it all played out?
You know what? I am feeling as confident as ever. I went to that house by myself and had to finagle and figure out all these things while being disconnected from everything that I've known and loved my entire life. And I think for a first timer, a person that, didn't have heavy study books to know what to do in this game, I think I did fairly decent. And for that, I am proud.
And you should be. But you told Julie on your way out that you were stunned. When did the blind side become real for you? Or like were the signs there earlier that day, or were you
Mhm.
truly shocked?
Honestly, no. So my discernment is so big. I had already said some things about a week and a half prior to. And I'll be honest, like I didn't do a lot of investigating. I think personally, I was kind of just going to let fate take its course. And that was a prayer that I prayed the past week, like, hey, God, like, whatever it is you see fit for me, let it be. And I didn't really dive deep into what it was. I didn't inquire much from others in the house. Like when I heard a few extra whispers, I kind of figured something was brewing, but just didn't know what. I honestly anticipated myself probably being evicted first into jury. And I'm like, okay, but I think I prefer it this way just because I get to go out and live my life a little bit before coming back for finale.
And you also learned about the Judges Alliance, which was
Yes.
Vince, Morgan, Rachel, Ashley, and Will. How
Yes.
shocking was that? And do you think there was anything you could have done to infiltrate that group at all?
I don't think it was super shocking because I do think the signs were there a little bit. It was a little proof in that pudding. But as far as infiltrating it, I think obviously if I would have won the blockbuster, I think eliminating one of the two would definitely have shooken that up and they would have had to change their trajectory. So that's for sure one. And then two, honestly, when it came between the vote to Riley and Morgan, my gut was telling me to let Morgan go. And I think if I would have done that, it probably would have obviously allowed me to have at least 2 to 3 or maybe one extra week in the house.
Vince won the blockbuster, and that sort of flipped everything.
It did.
Because he could have gone home. And you hinted that you were considering throwing the blockbuster to him. Was that the case, or what was going on there?
So obviously that was supposed to be the goal because I did not want to vote out Ashley. As much as her and I did not align all the time, I still cared about her as a person and did not want to be the person to evict her. So I didn't throw the blockbuster. I cannot say that. Did I go as hard as Mickey Lee, normally would? No, I didn't. I let up just a little bit, but I did go. I went a little hard.
Were you surprised to even be on the block with Keanu as HOH next to Vincent Morgan?
No, I was not surprised. Let's be honest. Has been trying to get me and Morgan out since week 2, so he succeeded for sure. So he definitely had a great HOH. He got me out. I do think I'm a stronger competitor compared to Morgan and Vince when it comes to comps. So I mean, he did a good service. I was someone that could potentially won my way through a little bit more, and getting me out was a good move for him.
Well, I want to go back to week 4 because this was the turning point for you as a viewer having more information than the people in the house. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of important to watch that way. You stole that HOH from Riley, and then you nominated Keanu Kelly and Riley, really gunning for Keanu. So none of this would have happened if that would have worked out for you. But talk about that week and stealing Riley's HOH.
So here was my thought process. So in that house, a lot of the things that attached me to the drama in the house were including Jimmy. So as I started, I was kind of doing some smooth sailing, and then a lot of chaos started to happen, and it was always surrounding Jimmy. Most of my feuds, Jimmy was at the center, and a lot of people who wanted to put me on the block were because of things that Jimmy had said or not said. I think, unfortunately, a lot of things that were going on in the house, Jimmy was trying to save his butt and was comfortable putting me and Morgan under the bus, and that's where things shifted for me. And I thought it was the best move to put Jimmy up, despite me loving him so much, just because I could have gone home week 2, 3, maybe even 4 because of Jimmy, and maybe even weeks after. So I think me putting him up and sitting him home was the difference of me going on now and maybe week 4 or 5.
Because Jimmy said even when he exited that he was planning to like go with you to the final 3, but you just didn't trust that.
I trusted Jimmy. I did to a certain extent, but his actions didn't match his words. So Jimmy, swore down for final 3s, but he had a lot of final 3s in the house. And when it came to debunking rumors or things that were spewing regarding me and Morgan, he never did that. He stayed close in close cahoots with Keanu, someone that wanted me out, and he never defended anything. Keanu would have put me up if he had won, and I probably would have gone home, if not me, Morgan. And I think that's where I saw issues in regards to our alliance and our trust. Looking back, if I would have changed anything, it would have been to maybe talk to Jimmy a little bit more. But by the time that, he was on the block and the votes kind of were set, it was not much more I could do.
Well, in those first few weeks in the house, everyone thought you were going to win, myself included. I mean, you were the favorite consensus-wise as who people thought would win, and then the house quietly started shifting, and I think it was kind of after your HOH. When did you start to feel a sense that you might be losing control of the game? Because you were very much in control for a while.
Yeah, I think I sensed it around week 5. But week 5, I kind of sensed like it was a little off. And I'll be honest, it got a little off mainly because of me. My social battery started dying very quickly, which is something that you have to have a lot of control over. And I just wasn't giving it my all in regards to like those conversations and all the things that it required it to have, just because I was kind of losing, I don't know, I was losing grips of just trying to connect with people. I did feel like I was kind of on an island by myself a little bit in the middle when things started, and week 5 as well, with not having a lot of commonalities with people. And it kind of just started sinking deeper and deeper.
Do you think you would have been better off if you just hadn't won HOH?
Honestly, yeah.
If you'd survived last night, what was your week 9 plan? Who are you targeting?
Yeah, week 9 plan would definitely be to win HOH, because who would not have want to win HOH this week? And honestly, I would have been targeting Keanu, potentially Kelly, and or Rachel.
Talk about your relationship with Rachel, because that was interesting. There was sometimes you were looking close and like allies. Other times you were like, she needs to go home to her kids. Clearly annoyed. So talk about that dynamic throughout the season.
Honestly, when Rachel came in the house, I didn't know who she was. I was slightly intimidated just because obviously she was a previous winner. And after I got to know her a little bit, I was a fan of her. I honestly respected her a lot and wanted her to go into jury. Like, I wanted her in jury. No, I didn't want to do a final 2 or final 3. That'd be insane. But I wanted her in jury. And as time progressed, and I noticed that the only way Rachel liked me was when I was either praising her, speaking highly just about her with no attention on me. That's when we blossomed and things were great. But when I ever had any moments of shine for myself, or anyone complimented me, or, any attention was on me, that's when she wasn't a fan of me. So I learned quickly that as long as I kissed butt and I made everything about her, we were great. And if anyone knows me in this US of A, I am not like that at all. I'm not a person that kisses butt, and I'm not a person that cowers. And I think she wanted me to cower. There was a lot of things that she said and did that were not very nice and kind of rude. And I don't know, what happened with her in previous seasons. She kept speaking about she didn't want to be portrayed as that person. But honestly, what she told me and what I was seeing from her were very similar to the same people.
Morgan and Vince, that is a very close combination. What's going on with that? And, were they tough to get between? Because it started the season with you and Morgan really being a tight duo. And then she really sort of, the embraces, like people are going crazy. Like they're just hugging for like 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on with that. I'll just know what I've seen, and I'll just say it just seems like something that'll last for a really long time. Whatever it is that they're trying to do or figuring out, I can see that it's very solid. So whatever that is, I don't know. I'm gonna mind my business.
But that was a big turning point for you, I think, was really kind of losing Morgan to Vince in a way.
Technically, yeah. So it's been a lot of people in this game playing for Vince. He is Vinny the lip You know, he has that lip on him and he's working it for sure. But I'll be honest, I don't think Morgan ever was really for me. I think Morgan saw greatness in me. As you said, in week 1 and 2, people saw me as a winner. And I think she tried to attach herself to greatness, which is not something that I'm not shy of. I'm used to it even in the real life. And I think she attached herself to greatness with hopes of me kind of carrying her to I couldn't carry her anymore. And I don't know, I was disposable. So I think that's kind of what happened.
Who's in the best position to win right now?
I think Will, honestly, I think Will is someone that's under the radar. No one's looking at him. I think he's going to turn it up a notch too this week in jury.
And who do you want to win?
Personally, I would be okay with Will winning for sure. Honestly, at this point, maybe even Kelly, underdogs.
And finally, just finish this sentence. If I had survived tonight, my path to 750K would be.
If I would have survived tonight, my path to 750K would have been being a savage.
Okay, that is what Mickey had to say. I think my biggest takeaway was when you asked her about Vince and Morgan, because these two are stealing hugs in the Big Brother house. And, Vince's girlfriend has essentially broken up with him. And so you said, what is going on with them? And she basically said, I don't know what's going on with them. It seems like something that'll last, meaning their friendship. She thinks their friendship's going to last for a really long
She
time.
did not say friendship. You don't know that.
I think that's what she implied.
I don't think so. I think she's like, and then she said, I'm going to mind my business. I know what that means. Something is going on.
Okay. I did see a clip of him taking off his microphone and maybe saying I love you, maybe saying something else. I don't know. It's hard to hear in that house sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some definite weird moments. We're getting mixed messages because Jimmy has been like spilling tea that when he was in the house, he was saying Vince was maybe thinking about breaking up with his girlfriend and calling the relationship off. I've seen other clips happening in the house saying his girlfriend doesn't have a jealous bone in her body and everything's good. So who knows? All we know is that she has unfollowed him apparently on social media and is over hearing about Vince and Morgan from other strangers that have been bombarding her with messages.
So juicy. And I love that they're actually getting into some of this on the show. It showed the moment Morgan was trying to wake up Vinny by rubbing his arm, and Ava walked in and she's like, that's not how I wake up my friends. I love Ava. Yeah. She's such a character. Was there any other moments from Mickey's interview you wanted to spotlight?
I mean, I just thought it was interesting to hear why she got rid of Jimmy in context, because people thought that really sort of derailed her game. And that's what I thought as well. But she had her reasons, and you don't have the information inside the house that people have outside of the house. So, and then I love just hearing people's real thoughts about Rachel. She's like, I didn't watch her past season. She talked about how she didn't want to be portrayed as like this nasty person. She's like, seems like that's the way she is to me. So it's like no love lost there.
And Mickey is not the first person to say that she didn't know who Rachel was. So it's like these people, they don't do their basic amount of research before they get on the show. It's like, just Google a list of the winners of Big Brother. Go to Gold Derby. We have that. That's the bare minimum you should do.
Wouldn't you watch every season? Like if you were even in the casting process, I'd be like, okay, well, I've never seen it before, but I'm about to study. Like I would want to know everything.
I would watch as much as I could. I would go on social media to find things out. I would look on the Wikipedia pages. Like I would do my homework. We are in the next phase of Big Brother. We are in the jury phase. We have 9 people left. I cannot believe Rachel is one of them. Did you see this coming 8 weeks ago when she came
not even on the block? I mean, her and Lauren are still the only 2 that haven't hit the block. I'm predicting one of them will this week, depending on which side of the house wins HOH. I think if it's like if Lauren or Kelly win, Rachel's definitely going on the block. If Rachel or Ashley win, probably Lauren is going on the block, but who knows? I still don't know if we're still doing 3 nominees, right? I think the blockbuster is going 2 more weeks.
That's what I saw on social media. You can't trust social media, but apparently we have 2 more weeks of the blockbuster, if you believe it.
I'm most curious to see if Vince wins, because what is he going to do now? Like is he loyal to Keanu now? Is he going after Rachel now? Is he still in the Judges Alliance with Rachel and Will and Ashley? Like he's going to have to decide where he is and, like in his own words, stop being such a bitch. and he's gonna have to like figure out. He's gonna have to make a move, a real move.
I think the judges' alliance is over because he could have voted for Mickey. I know they're good friends, but instead he voted for one of the judges, Ashley. And to me, if you vote against your alliance member, you're dead. It's so funny because he was HOH last week and he could have put up Rachel, but he didn't want to go against the alliance. A week later, he's gone against the alliance.
And Morgan voted to keep Ashley. So Vince and Morgan did not align this week. So I'm also wondering, did Vince just say to Keanu, yes, I will do what you want. You're the HOA. Like, I just want to be safe. I'll do whatever you want. And he also tried to strike a deal with Mickey before the blockbuster, saying, whichever one's comes off, we will vote to save the other one. So he might have just been holding true to a deal and still thinking about the judges' alliance in the future. But the funny thing about this season is nobody is loyal to their alliance. And that's what Rachel can't get her mind around. Like, she's used to like extreme loyalty, and people just keep putting their allies on the block. So this season is just chaos, which makes it's one of the better seasons in recent memory. I think it's a lot of fun.
It is fun. I did love last season too with Angela and Tucker, two amazing standouts who are going to be on The Amazing Race now.
Yeah.
Okay, so of the 9 that are left, let's talk about who do we want to win? Like, who are we personally rooting for? And then who do we think legitimately has the best shot?
I'm rooting for, I like everyone. Like, there's no one I dislike. I really don't want Lauren to win. I'm rooting against Lauren. I think she's just done nothing. She can't make a decision. She's really young, and I'm sure she's a nice girl, but she just has no grip on this game for being the only real super fan in there. I mean, she's the one that does know stuff, but she can't. She has a hard time making any decisions. So she would be the perfect person to take to the end. That's who I would want in my final 2 if I was going to the end. I would drag her along with me. But
It
I would
makes me
actually.
think, when she says the word super fan, it makes me wonder, maybe she doesn't know what that means because she's not acting like a super fan.
No, she just said she's seen all the seasons. She watched with her parents, which I don't know, whatever. But I would kind of be okay with anyone else winning. Like, I think everyone kind of deserves it in their own way. I know Vince would probably rub a lot of people the wrong way, but he's giving me Paul Abrahamian vibes. I feel like he's not going to win in the end. But I mean, Mickey even said she would like to see Kelly win, which shocked me. No one has said they want Kelly to win yet.
Wow.
I'm rooting for everyone. I mean, it would be fun to see Rachel become the first 2-timer, but
Yeah.
I'm not really actively rooting against anyone at this point except for Lauren. Sorry, Lauren.
At Gold Derby, you can make your predictions for who you think will win. Who would that be for you? Who do you think is going to win the 750?
I have no idea. I think this is like the least. I'm trying to even picture them in final 2s, and I can't even figure out what's going to happen. I think this week is going to make a huge difference because someone's going to gain a majority vote. So
you're high up on Will, though, aren't you?
I am, but he can't win anything. He's like Suri. He's probably going to get to the end, and then they're going to be like, we can't beat him. We have to get rid of him. So I think he's the best social player, but he's not a good competitor. So I'm going to just go with Keanu.
I was going to say Keanu. I think Keanu probably is going to win this game. If he and Rachel go pretty far, which I think they will, they both know that each other is their biggest target. And the moment their target goes home, they're next. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep the other one in the game.
I think his biggest weakness is going to be that final HOH comp, because it is like a memory thing. Although didn't he just win a memory contest? So it might not be. I think he's smarter than people give him credit for. And it could be like a Josh situation, although he's much more likable than Josh Martinez was. I will say that, but he's sort of a polarizing figure, but I think he could pull it off. I mean, he could sort of win his way to the end. There's not a lot of strong competitors in the game.
I wonder how strong he'll be at the final. I was going to say final tribal council. The final moment where he's talking to the jury, answering their questions. I mean, Ashley just called him Tarzan. I don't know how strong he is in a moment where he has to, defend his game. I think Ashley would be good at that. She is a lawyer.
Can we talk about that? I found Ashley's speech cringe. I love Ashley, but it's so over rehearsed. It sounded like she was reading lines, just like Jimmy did earlier this year. Like we need like some real heat. These people go in the room and practice how to be a badass for like 3 hours, and then they go out there and they give the most awkward takedowns. And I was not feeling Ashley's speech. I will say Keanu talks a lot. I don't know if he's going to be good at giving a speech, and I think it's really going to matter who he's sitting next to. If he's sitting next to Vince, I don't think it matters. Vince will talk well and talk people's ear off, but I think people will just be sort of bothered by him.
Big Brother has no problems making fun of the contestants, so I am wondering why they don't show, like you just said, Jimmy practice his speech. Ashley, obviously, seems like this was well rehearsed. Why don't we see them practicing and getting it wrong and fixing it? I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Jimmy practicing a little bit, but we did not see Ashley practicing. The other thing I wanted to mention about a potential final two is I think like Vince probably thinks Keanu is good to go to the end with, but I think Vince is actually really good for Keanu to go to the end with. And that could happen. Like if those two really have teamed up and can just comp their way to the end, I like Kelly would vote for Keanu. I mean, Morgan would clearly vote for Vince, but I think a lot of people would turn on him, potentially even Rachel and Ashley, if it's just like the lesser of two evils. A lot like when Josh Martinez won.
And then finally, I'll say my pick for who I'm rooting for. I want Rachel to win this so bad. Every time one of her enemies wins HOH, I message you. I'm like, oh, Rachel's going up. And then she finds a way not to go up. She is playing her heart out. She could have been the first one out, and she's here in what? There's only 4 weeks left,
Yeah,
and she's still here. I'm an old school fan. I want Rachel to win no matter what. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We will have another episode soon. And I hope you're right that this is some sort of a janky world situation where they're going to be tortured outside. That was a fun week last season.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's going to be crazy if the feeds come back and someone's just missing.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we'll have our spoilers going. I've had it ready to go for like all night long. Usually it's like the night of, and I'm like, come on, where are the feeds?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.